Lise Meitner, the woman who came up with the theory of nuclear fission, arguably one of the most important discoveries in the modern age of science, and yet few know her name. Lise Meitner was born in 1878 to Philip Meitner, one of the first Jewish lawyers in Austria. To pursue her doctorate, she went to a university in Vienna. She attended a lecture by Max Planck, the renowned scientist. Before meeting her, he proclaimed that he would never teach women. She was his teaching assistant by the next year. Soon afterwards, she met up with Otto Hahn, her life partner in most of her scientific pursuits. A short while after, she took up an unpaid job at the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute in Berlin. This position at the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute was under Hahn. It was not until 1913, a year after she joined the institute, that they considered paying her, after another university attempted to steal her. She took a break from her various research projects to work as a nurse during World War I. After returning, she said that she felt some regret to be focusing on her scientific pursuits when there were still people in need. This strong sense of morality would serve her well in the future. Resuming her research in 1916, she became a physics professor at the university and was the head of the department by 1917. Before long, she would be in charge of the Institute for Chemistry. One of her great accomplishments was in the energies of atoms. While working with Hahn on discovering protactinium, the first long-lived isotope, Meitner isolated the cause of the emissions from atomic surfaces, their signature energies. This was in 1923. 2 years later, in 1925, Pierre Auger would make the same discovery and be rewarded by having his name attached to the effect, now known as the Auger effect. This was only to be the first of many such insults. In the 1930s, the neutron was discovered. This created a race within the scientific community. Everyone was trying to be the first to create an atom larger than uranium. The contestants: Ernest Rutherford in Britain, Irene Joliot-Curie in France, Enrico Fermi in Italy, and the Meitner-Hahn team for Germany. They all knew that the winner of this race would receive a Nobel Prize. Then Hitler took over Berlin. Many of Meitner's peers had to flee. Because of her protected status as a person of science, she considered herself safe. That safety did not last, and soon, as a Jewish woman, she had to flee. Meitner and Hahn still met in secret, and they were still determined to win that race. At one such meeting, they decided on a set of experiments. Hahn contacted Meitner after the experiment had been completed, saying that by bombarding uranium with neutrons, it split into smaller elements and released vast amounts of energy, yet he could not understand why. Meitner and her nephew were some of the first people to connect Einstein's law, E equals mc squared, with the energy released by the uranium. With her nephew's help, she created the theory for nuclear fission. Her and Hahn had done it. They had won the race. Yet Hitler was still in power, and having her name so visible was dangerous. So, Hahn and her decided that they would withhold her name from the paper temporarily and wait until the war had ended. When it came time for the Nobel Prize to be awarded, she was excluded. Her name was not on the paper. As much as Otto Hahn fought them, and she protested, the scientific community did not budge. It was clear to everyone that it was an excuse to exclude her based on her sex. That was the greatest insult, the loss of recognition for her work. That was Meitner, missed and passed over to give all of the credit to her colleague. Her life did not end there. She worked hard against the Nazi Party, urging Hahn to do the same in a letter she wrote to him. She went on to write articles about nuclear fission, one accidentally inspiring the atomic bomb, which her work allowed us to create. Later in life, she received her due praise, in the form of an element and in the awards she won. It is a shame that we do not know more of her, but it is a common occurrence all throughout history, throughout every field, to not include the women. This was Meitner Missed.